That's bad policing, but it's also bad human beings.
Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan has really come out swinging at the Department of Homeland Security over their role in the death of Nurul Shah Alam. Now, that didn't surprise anybody locally because Sean Ryan has always had this skill as a politician of being really effective at treating immigrants and refugees as a block vote. This goes back way before he was ever the mayor, back even when he was a state senator, when he was representing Western New York out in Albany. He was always really good at finding issues that affected large groups of immigrant and refugee folks and being like strong and outspoken and supportive of their issues as a way of like trying to catch their votes in big blocks. It's very similar to another thing that a lot of Western New York politicians do, which is to treat labor as a block vote. As in, there's a lot of politicians from Western New York who will be very loud and supportive of labor union rights in the hope that whole unions will come and vote for you as a block. So what Sean Ryan is trying to do in this moment is he's pointing at the Department of Homeland Security and he's pointing at the Erie County Sheriff's Office and say, look what they did. Look what they did to Nurul Shah Alam. I'm mad about it. I'm incensed about it. But this is where this is going to get interesting, is because a lot of people are watching now that body cam footage of Nurul al-Shalam's original arrest, and people are noticing that the police never asked, do you speak English? They never asked, like, can you understand me, right? Because it also, if you watch that video, it also could have been the case that the guy was having a stroke, right? Or he had just woken up from a seizure and he was acting groggy. There's no attempt to, like, understand why he wasn't responding to their commands. There's going to be a lot of immigrant activists, kind of leaders in Buffalo who are going to look at that and say, hey, stop just talking about DHS. What are you going to do to teach the police, hey, not everybody speaks English, especially them walking around in Black Rock. That's Little Burma, right? Like, there's a ton of immigrants and refugees, and the police should know that. And that's where I'm going to be critical of Mayor Ryan right now. It is odd that he hasn't mentioned anything about the Buffalo Police's handling of the original arrest. On the whole, I like Sean Ryan. I really do. I was really happy when he won that mayorship, but I don't think he's going to be able to ignore Buffalo PD's role in this whole thing for forever.
What I do know is Border Patrol did not take him back to the holding center. If they had taken him back to the holding center, the desk sergeant could have reviewed his visitor log and showed that his son was a regular visitor. Here's his phone number. And they could have showed that his immigration lawyer was an active visitor, and here's his phone number. So there would have been ways to contact the family so you didn't leave somebody out in the cold. And you know what they did? They dropped him at a closed coffee shop. He didn't have shoes on. He had orange booties issued from the holding center. That's bad policing, but it's also bad human beings. That is an inhumane thing to do. Doesn't speak English. He's obviously has a disability, so there's no way for him to convey to the border officers, what he wanted to do. So they let him out of the car.
Who needs to investigate this matter and who needs to be held accountable?
Who needs to investigate this matter is the federal government and Border Patrol. But they already put out a statement last night full of conclusions of what their officers and what their department did, but they did it without an investigation.